Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Saturday evening. I just worked a hospital shift, which is why I'm still wearing hospital scrubs. So yes, that means I'm still working as a labor and delivery nurse, at least for now. For those of you who don't know, I am Jackie. My channel is called I am Nurse Jackie, and I talk about all things labor and delivery nursing related, and my journey to become a women's health nurse practitioner. So yeah, I just got home. I think this is my first labor and delivery shift I've worked in a while. So I've been working in the NP role for almost 2 months now. And this past week, I was officially on my own for the week. And then I finished the week today at the hospital. Yeah, today was I don't know if it was hard, but I think it made me realize that the hospital life is no longer for me. I think I'm over the 12 to 13 hour shifts. It was dark when I got to work at like 6:15 this morning, and it was dark when I left work at around 7:10 this evening. The way it happened, it wasn't necessarily crazy busy, but the way the shift happened, it was like slow. And then I had a 7 centimeter patient come in around 9:30, got her an epidural. She was ready to start pushing around 12:30. So I kind of missed my breakfast lunch window before 12 o'clock. And then she pushed for a while. We had a lot of things going on. I didn't end up eating for the first time today until 4:30 this afternoon. I was like, okay, y'all. At 4:30, I'll be getting ready to wrap up clinic and go home. Yeah, the hospital life. I love laboring. I love labor and delivery. But I'm just not with the hospital life anymore. I don't know. I think I got spoiled. Working in the clinic. I feel like, I know since I've been working in the clinic, I think I've been to the hospital once, and that was really just to deliver my friend, and then I delivered her and went home. Today I was scheduled there full shift, and I was like, I don't know, I've missed so many days of this. I just don't think I have the stamina anymore for this. But anyways, it's really making me consider, is it time to turn in my resignation? But I got to figure out a way where I can still deliver patients. I don't know. I might end up having to go back to school, y'all. See if there's a little bridge program for me to become a midwife or something. Because I do want to deliver patients, but I'm not trying to work 12, 13 hours in the hospital all day. I want to work in the clinic, and then I want to come in and deliver patients. I need to find a way to make that happen. I will find a way to make that happen. So, anyways, now back to my transition into my nurse practitioner role. So this last week, I did work on my own. I had my own clinic. I had patients scheduled to come in and see me. A lot of great patients this week. My schedule was busier than I thought it would be. I was originally told we would like ease into it. So yeah, I didn't have as many patients as the other providers who have been there a lot longer, but I had quite a bit. One of the days I was feeling a little overwhelmed, but we got it together and ended up being great. I got a lot of compliments from some of the staff saying that I was doing good with my timing. I mean, it was just a really good week. There was one day, so we divided schedule between AM and PM. So one day, I think I had the same amount of patients in the morning as another NP who had been there for a year, and I think it's one of the doctors. So I was like, okay, so y'all just, like jump in. But God is good, because I jumped in and I've been doing great. So let's see. I saw a lot of well woman exams. I had a lot of confirming pregnancy patients. which is good because that means I get to see them from the beginning and progress with them as they progress in their pregnancy. Who knows? Maybe by the time they deliver, I'll be able to deliver babies. We'll see. Let's see. I had a lot of gyn visits, which I wasn't expecting because I still need to learn a lot of gyn stuff. But I guess you don't. I mean, the way it is, you don't learn it unless you do it. So it was good. It was a good learning experience for me. I did a lot of microscope exams, which I never really messed with the microscope in clinical, so I'm getting a lot of microscope practice at this clinic. Let me see. Didn't see anything too crazy with on the microscopes. Saw a couple of BV cells. Saw yeast. Like, I was gonna say normal stuff, but not normal, but more common. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Saw a few OB patients. Most of my OB patients were new confirms. There's a lot of new pregnant people out there, y'all, and we just confirmed a lot this past week. There was one case. So this patient was a new confirm of mine last week. So last week I was still kind of I had a backup or backup resource person. So, but I was still kind of seeing the patients on my own, and then she would just come in at the end if I needed her to. So I confirmed this patient last week, and we did lab work to make sure the pregnancy was growing as it should. And lab work came back. She left me a message with the company email system or messaging system that she was bleeding. Like, it was a lot of stuff going on. So then I had her come back into the office immediately. We did an ultrasound, and unfortunately there was no more pregnancy. So that was my first time having to tell a patient that, and I felt like I was not ready for that because I was not ready to answer the questions that she might ask. I didn't know what she would ask, and I didn't want to hesitate. Or in that type of situation with it being real sensitive, I needed support. I mean, to be honest, like, if that were to happen to me or somebody that I know, I would not want them to ask a question and then feel like their provider wasn't 100% sure. So I went and got my supervising doctor. I gave him everything that had been going on, the ultrasound, and so he went in and talked to her and told her it was appearing to be a miscarriage. And we gave her, what to do. I set her up with labs so she can keep coming in so we can keep checking and making sure there's nothing abnormal going on. So yeah, I dealt with that. Maybe Thursday. I think that was Thursday. Yeah. So that was a little, that was rough. But we talked to her once the doctor came in, and it was, so I knew the answer, but the topic was so sensitive. I just wanted backup, if that makes sense. So, but he pretty much told her everything I had already kind of told her. So he kind of just was like, reinforcement. You'll still see Jackie. We all help all the patients here, and she's been helping you and she's been answering your questions. I just wanted to come in and let you know that we're all a team here. So then he left, and I asked her if she had any questions. We talked a little bit more, and I just gave her a hug. We hugged it out, and I'll see her over the next couple of weeks, make sure there's nothing abnormal with her blood work that we're doing. But yeah, so I had that appointment this week. So yeah. So when women come in for the well woman exam, it's just normally a normal checkup. Like, everything should be okay with you. It's just an annual exam. Most of the time that's not the case. And I start and I'm like, so is there anything you wanted to discuss? And sometimes I get a whole list. Sometimes I get the few patients who are like, nope, just a regular well woman exam or refill my birth control. So that's expected with the well woman. You want to refill your birth control, you might want to do labs, all that is expected. It's when women start going off into a whole bunch of other things, which I get it. Like, if you're only coming to the doctor once or twice a year, you're going to ask all the questions. I answer them. Like, if it gets to be too extensive, or after talking to them, I see that they need ultrasounds or a particular subset of labs, then, we set up another appointment. But 2 women this past week, I was doing a well woman exam, and I found rectocils. So if you don't know, a rectocil is like a bulge between in your rectum, pretty much. So like you do an exam, you fill a hole when you're doing a pelvic exam. The first one felt like a bump. It could have been to me, it felt like it could have been a cyst. So I had one of the doctors come in. She came in, she did a pelvic exam. She wanted to see if the bladder was falling down, the uterus was coming down. And so then she said, this also looks like it could be a rectocil. So the rectum was bulging or prolapsing. So then she did a rectal exam and put her feet, it's like, yeah. If you don't know what a rectocil is, Google it. Or yeah, I saw 2 of those this past week, and that's crazy. So we sent those women to the pelvic floor or pelvic reconstruction doctors. That was different for me. All this week was a success. It was a little adjusting and tweaking because, I was no longer with the doctor. I was on my own, so I had to find my own space. I'm not walking next to the doctor. I'm not sitting next to the doctor. I had to find my own space. So we had a little bit of jumbling trying to do that. We had to move some nurse practitioners around. We had to move some computers around, but it all worked out. So there was one point at the end of the week where there was some tension in the office, just slightly, because we had to do a lot of readjusting. We had to find computers and spots for everybody to be able to work. It ended up moving around places that older staff members would normally sit because they had to make room for me. And before, I would have felt a little bit bad about that. But then I realized God put me in the position that I'm in. So I will take up the space that I'm given. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, no, it's okay, you can sit here. Then where will I sit? Like, if this space was made for me, God put me in this position. He gave me dominion. I don't need to shrink. I need to do what I was set there to do and take up my space respectfully. And that's how we ended the week. And it worked out great. There was a curveball. So I had a curveball on Friday morning. I learned that one of the nurse practitioners that I had been following for orientation is leaving. So normally that's not a big deal, and it's still not a big deal. The thing is that she was over a big specialty in the clinic. I mean, she was over hormones and fertility, which is an area that I expressed interest in during the interview process and during some of the orientation. So the curveball that I got the call Friday morning that this nurse practitioner had left, and that, she will be leaving, and that my schedule for the next few weeks will change because I will be following her so that I can try and soak up all her knowledge, because I will now be taking over her position. It was a little overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, God is not going to give you more than what you can handle, right? Like, you pray for these opportunities. You pray for these doors to be open. I didn't think it was going to be open this fast, but hey, God want to move quick, let him move quick. Like, I've had a passion for helping people with fertility for a long time. I've never really spoken about it, maybe to like one person. Yeah. And again, I guess over the next couple of weeks, I will be learning about fertility and hormones and helping people get pregnant. I started off in labor and delivery. I'm doing women's health, and pretty soon I will be the provider that could help you or somebody you know get pregnant who's been struggling for a little while. God is good, and I'm just here along for the ride. I'm ready to see what else he's going to do. But like I said, I just got home from work at the hospital, 12 and a half hours of... I loved my patient, y'all. Her baby was beautiful, big baby. She pushed for a while, and it was a big baby. That was great, but I'm tired. The hospital life, clinic life is spoiling me. So I'm tired right now. I'm about to take a shower, relax with my kids, and get ready for church tomorrow. And Monday is a full clinic day of seeing my patients. And then I think Tuesday and Wednesday, I have my patients, some of my patients in the morning, and then I'm following the NP that's leaving so I can get an intense, quick course on fertility. I'm sure I'll have lots of homework to study because she has been doing this she is really good. She has been doing this for years. She has lots of information and packets. I'm ready to study because that is an area that I'm really interested in. On Thursday, I was going to leave work early anyway, so now I'll follow her. Then I'll leave early because I'm headed to Dallas for training for work for the hormone replacements. I'll be there all day Friday, and then I'll come back home Saturday. So I will probably give you guys an update once I get home Saturday and let you know how the week went. See y'all next week. Y'all have a blessed week.